here's today's issue, current issue. I checked the steering clearance on the truck, and the wheels are too wide. They're actually hitting the inner suspension parts once you try and turn.
Garage.
I got it up on jack stands right now. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. I got it up on stands, so it's free spinning, but it's just barely off the ground. And oh, to make sure this works properly, you have to have the jack stand on the suspension part. You can't have it on the frame, because then the suspension will just droop and it won't give you what you need. So basically I need this off the ground, but at ride height, which is where it's at. But while it's up there, just turn the steering wheel, and that's about as I can feel it stopping. And at first I thought that was just the natural end of the steering travel. And when you come under here and look, you can see it's hitting. You can just push on the wheel or pull on it, and it'll turn it. But you can just push on it and see that it's absolutely there. It's absolutely hitting that. And I can spin the tire and then push on it, and it's hitting that. So the steering still has more to go. I didn't realize how bright that was. So we're hitting this, but it's just farther up this way. Wow, it's so bright out there. Okay, so that's what we're hitting. I first discovered this problem a few days ago, and went ahead and ordered some super cheap spacers, just something to push the tire out to see if that would fix the problem and if I like the look of it. If that fixes it, and I still like the tire being an inch farther out, then I will order some hub-centric spacers. That is a much safer option than the lug-centric, which is what I have. But they were, like I said, they were super cheap. The hole in the middle, or the hub hole on it, is super large, so it can fit a huge range of vehicles. That's why they were so cheap. And this is it fits my truck. It's 5 lug by 5.5. Actually, that picture's wrong. I'll just point to this. So it's 5 lug by 5.5 spacing. So 5.5 inches from lug to every other lug. And the center hole, I think, was like 4.25 or 4.5 inches in diameter. That's just massive. That's way bigger than what I need. But it fits. And like I said, it came two in the kit. So I'm just going to get these on there. I'm going to push the wheel an inch out. I'm going to see how that looks, or see if that gives me enough clearance for that radius arm. So I'm going to get at it. Changing tires is boring to watch, so we're going to jump to the next scene now. Got the spacer on. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. And got this wheel bolted on. Still up on jacks, up in the air. And see, this is farther in, so the inch spacer is working. It's pulled it out, but it's still not clearancing. So it feels like, the steering feels like anyway, when I turn the steering wheel, and honestly it feels like that's the end of the steering. Here, I'll show you. I guess that's where it's hitting, and then here, I'll put my hand down here so you can see. So I'll try it again. Alright, so that's where it's hitting, and that's the end of the steering. So I mean, I'm that close. What I have discovered is what, let's see if I can get the camera in here to show you guys. What stops the steering is when this part of the knuckle hits this I-beam. And with the spacer on, you guys can see just how close that is. I mean, that right there, the tire is hitting now, and that's all the space I need. Oh, it's so frustrating to be that close. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe just sand some of this down. Maybe bring this in like a 1/4 of an inch. Maybe a 1/2 inch at the most. I might just make some like relief cuts in and in to clear the tire, and then I'll just bend that piece up so I'm not really cutting out any structural support. But yeah, I think you just push the tire back like this, mark, you know, where it's going to need, where it'll need to go in like another 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm saying is, don't mark it just right here. You know, go out until you have a 1/4 inch gap, mark it there, and then do the same thing on this side. Wait till you have a 1/4 inch of a gap, mark it there. And this I have just kind of glued on right now to try and help give me some more clearance. So when I turn the wheel, see if I can keep this at a good angle for you guys. Oh, not bright enough. Oh, and the sun's in the way, of course. Okay, so grab the wheel and turn it all the way in. And you can see it's hitting right there. I'm holding the flashlight and the camera, so I can't point, but I'm going to pull back a little bit. See that fresh steel, that clean looking new steel? When I push the tire back in, see, that's where it hits. That's the limiting factor on it. If I point it right at it, you can't see it. So I did that just to give me a little bit more clearance here between the wheel and the suspension. You can see I took the grinder disc on my angle grinder and it took off maybe an 1/8 of an inch, and it's given me plenty of clearance. You can see there, that's all I had to clearance, and like 1/18 of an inch off. And then you got this piece on the top, because the tire's running this way, right here. So I clearance this, and that's plenty of clearance. I can't see the top. Oh, you know, maybe I could use the camera. You guys are going to help me diagnose this. So we're going to push that all the way around, and then we're going to straighten you out on the selfie stick. Stick, you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to see that. I could just do that. Okay, so let's try this again. Oop, you guys there. Now how am I going to spin the wheel? Oh wow, that's pushed all the way in. I can see it now. My magnet on the flashlight's grabbing stuff. Oh yeah, that's plenty of clearance. I don't even need to clearance the top piece. Alright guys, there it is in all its glory. A modern Dodge wheel on an old, very dirty Ford. Okay, we'll fix all that later. Ignore that part. Modern Dodge wheel on an old truck. Old Ford truck. Great stuff. I love it. So I got them to fit. Turns out all that clearancing I had to do on the wheel with the router was unnecessary. After the spacer went on, it pushed it out far enough that wasn't even needed. So if you want to do this, I highly recommend it. I think it looks great. Definitely get a bigger tire on there, which gives you better performance, more traction, all that great stuff. Don't use the router. Don't remove any material. Just use a spacer to bring that wheel out far enough. And it'll fit. It'll work great. I think I may end up going with maybe an 1.25 inch spacer, just to try and eliminate that extra material to cut down the steering so it doesn't hit the suspension. I may play with that later, make a separate video, but for right now that works. In case you missed it last time, here's the same clip from previous video of the truck moving on its own power with these Dodge wheels on it. thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like, subscribe button. Feed this machine, keep it going. Hit that thumbs up if you liked it. Put some comments down below. Let me know what you guys liked, didn't like, and what you want to see in the future on the show. Appreciate it. God bless.